cheering. You didn't get to hear some sound by Shaq. Basically what he said is this is what needs to be the Lakers' next move. Offer a blank check to your boy, Klay Thompson. Stephen A., obviously he's a free agent this summer. Do you think Klay should be the Lakers' priority?
Without question. It won't work, but without question, it should be. You know, first of all, nobody can offer him more than the Golden State Warriors. They can offer him a 4-year deal elsewhere. He can get a 5-year deal from the Golden State Warriors, and obviously with about $40 million more. But I will tell you this. I will say here's where the Lakers' presence comes into play. And I've been told this, and I believe it. Do not play around with Klay. Klay wants to be here. Klay loves it here. He loves being a part of the Warriors organization, etc. But don't play with this man. This man is one of the top 5, arguably one of the top 3 shooters in the history of basketball. He has been here for all 4 championship runs, 3 times winning the championship. He's been here. When that deadline strikes and you are allowed to communicate with players, you better not make this man wait more than 60 seconds. You don't prioritize. Treat him like the priority that he is, and make sure that somebody is at his door, letting him know we want you to stay. Here's this 5-year deal for the max. You don't do that, anything can happen. If they do that, there's nothing to discuss. Yep. He's going to stay because this is where he wants to be. But don't play with this man. Now, if you're the Lakers, here's why it matters. Because unlike everybody else that we mentioned, Kawhi Leonard, his style of play, being the #1 option, having to share, him and LeBron having to make sacrifices. Anthony Davis, even though he can step out away from the basket, post play as well, you know, compromise there, etc. The one player that you don't have to compromise for, if you are LeBron, is Klay. The one player that you don't have to compromise for if you're Klay is LeBron, because their games completely complement one another. LeBron holding the basketball, running an offense, picking apart mismatches, being the basketball genius and savant that he is. This is the same LeBron that's going to find Klay to hit him for open shots, not to mention his ability to get to the basket, draw attention, and kick it out to him. That's where you find Klay. So to me, I think Shaq is absolutely right in terms of what they should do, the Lakers' focus should be. But I don't think for 1 second it's going to work, because I've spoken to the Golden State Warriors on numerous occasions this season, and they have told me personally, numerous members of the organization's front office, there is no way in hell we are losing Klay Thompson.
Max, before you go, I just want to say one thing. Because Max asked the crowd last night, we had a primetime special, really interesting question. I was surprised. You asked them, who would they rather have, Klay or KD? And everyone in the crowd unanimously said they would rather keep the Splash Brothers together than have Kevin Durant on this team.
Which I understand why. He's homegrown. Klay will never be KD. KD is just one of the all-time greats, and Klay is arguably the best shooter who ever lived. You can make the argument he is. Certainly top 5, as Stephen A. says. The other thing about Klay is he's a great defender. You know, it's not just like you're getting one of these free agents, gives you offense, and then gives up something on the other end. He can take the other team's best perimeter player every single night and do just about as good a job as someone can do on them. That's huge. And then on the other end, he can also get to some spots on the floor that your normal 3-and-D guy can't. He's 3-and-D plus. So I understand why Shaq would say that about Klay. And I'm not so sure that the Warriors it's up to them and they can keep him no matter what. Because Klay's Lakers roots run deep because of his daddy, because Michael Thompson, our colleague, I worked with on the radio for years, loves the Lakers, longtime Laker, 2-time Laker champion, was the #1 pick overall in the draft, #1 pick overall in the NBA draft once upon a time, averaged 20 and 12, but was happy when he got traded to the Lakers so that he could be the backup to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because that's what winning championships on the Lakers meant to him. Don't discount the appeal of the Lakers. I don't think that should be the Lakers' priority in free agency, though, because the Lakers have the best possible package that can be offered realistically for Anthony Davis right now. I believe if the Lakers want Anthony Davis, they'll be able to make that deal. So let me tell you something. If we were just drafting teams with a salary cap in mind, and you said, and you're picking players with your friends, and you wind up with LeBron and AD, and then no one else on the team, how you like your chances? Pretty good, right? LeBron and AD and whatever cap space you got left, you'll figure it out. I think that's what's about to happen for the Lakers. So do they need to push their chips into the middle of the table on Klay? Well, if they think they could get him, great, because you add Klay to that mix, they're going to win the championship, probably in their first year. Jimmy Butler may or may not be available. Let's see if he takes the Sixers offer. Klay, I would take over Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler, you got the Sixers, you got the Nets, you've got the Clippers, you've got the Lakers.
Kyrie Irving sounds now like he's going to go to Brooklyn.
Sounds now, unless he's convinced by KD to do otherwise.
We don't know about Kemba Walker.
Kemba Walker's waiting to see what Kyrie does. If Kyrie doesn't go to the Knicks, he'll want to go to the Knicks.
Kawhi Leonard looks like if he's
Toronto
not going to the
or
Clippers, it's going to be Toronto.
Yes.
So,
even though the Knicks think they have an outside shot.
Right. So if the Lakers identify Klay as a guy who maybe would take their money and no one else will, you push your chips to the middle of the table with him. But there are better players available.
I will say this. We've talked about this subject, and we haven't addressed the elephant in the room. You know what that elephant is? It is LeBron James, and here is why. If you believe that LeBron James has lost a significant step and is on the cusp of a demise, then you want Anthony Davis even more. But if you believe LeBron James can still be LeBron James, then you don't mind Klay Thompson one bit, because that's what it really comes down to. See, is it going to be somebody to compliment LeBron or somebody to take over the reins because of the fall of LeBron?
But why is it either or? If you trade everybody for AD, you should still be able to sign someone else.
No, I understand that, but I'm just talking about in terms of addressing the question as to who should be the priority and why.